Happy New Year, all of my Scorpio people out there, Sun, Moon, and Rising. It's time to have a look and see what's going on when it comes to your 2026 major astrological highlights, part one. And I'm saying part one because we've got a lot to talk about. And as I was getting everything all ready for this, it was just too much. Information is not going to get retained. So we are going to do a part one and a part two. And in part one, we are talking about January up until June, quarter one and quarter two. Don't forget, if you ever want to get a personal reading with me, head on over to my website, integrativemysticism.com, or follow the links in the down bar below, and like and subscribe so you know when part two comes out, as well as all my other videos on this channel. So what is going on when it comes to your 2026, January until June? Well, we start off with a continuation of Jupiter retrograde in Cancer, in your 9th house of expansion, growth, big moves, big travel opportunities, as well as long-distance connections, spirituality, and official matters. And Jupiter has been retrograde here and will be retrograde here until the 10th of March. Now, with Jupiter retrograde in the 11th house, this is a time where a lot of you are getting a chance to boost your personal fame, your personal recognition, whether it's in your career, whether it's in your social life, or with a cause or a priority that you would like to see soar. A lot of the times with Jupiter retrograde, though, we have to be ready for some callbacks and callouts, because Jupiter retrograde likes to bring back into our life things that we might want to implement now that we strayed from or stopped implementing once upon a time. This can also be a time where many important returns of people, golden ticket items, and assets that we drifted from or maybe did not recognize for what they were are getting a second chance with us in order to give us a raise in our personal prominence. The important thing is to make sure that you recognize it this time and you know how to change things up. Because after the March 10th, we've got Jupiter turning direct, and what you reintegrate and what you start committing to and what you recognize for real starts to really pay dividends. We also have another callback kind of focus going on with Neptune and Saturn re-entering Aries. Neptune's re-entering Aries on the 26th of January, and Saturn is re-entering Aries on the 13th of February. This is your 6th house of work, reputation, your schedule, as well as anything to do with the teams that you're on, the services you provide, and the value you get back for what you give to your world and your community. And when we have Neptune and Saturn return here, you're going to notice some kind of change in the way that you are received by the world, professionally and socially, where you are getting a chance to be taken more seriously, given more responsibility, given more credibility, and therefore also more value, even financial, when it comes to the work that you do. However, with Saturn, you've got to be ready because you're also going to be going through a process of being conditioned to become a stronger authority figure in one or many of these kinds of places. And if you don't feel ready for it now, Saturn is going to put you through it to get you ready. Luckily, Neptune is also going to be making people a lot more generous with you and maybe even help you promote yourself, setting you up for some very cool advancement opportunities as we get into July and August of 2026. Interestingly enough, we've got callbacks here to quarter two of 2025 as well, because that's when Saturn and Neptune originally made a little bit of a sojourn into Aries. And back in about April, May, and June of 2025, a lot of really promising opportunities were likely coming to you Scorpio people, especially things that could be raising you up in terms of your work, your professional standing, your earning power. And yet something happened probably around July, August of 2025 that brought everything to a bit of a halt. Now, there's a lot to explain with that, but suffice it to say, July and August of 2025 had a lot of holdout, possessive, heel-dragging, stagnant energy to it. And so a lot of good stuff that was really building up April, May, and June just didn't get the traction it needed. That's going to be different this time around because Neptune and Saturn, luckily, are not going to be taking any steps backwards this time. We also have our first eclipse season in quarter one of 2026, a solar eclipse new moon in Aquarius on February 17th. This is your 4th house of home, family, living situation, and home economy. And with a solar eclipse here, a lot of you Scorpio people might be getting ready for a big move or a big jump between February and May. Now, a lot of you could be finding that this new beginning is just what the doctor ordered, especially because this is likely going to be something very advantageous for your home or your family life or your home economy. Some of you may also find that this is turning over a new leaf or beginning a new chapter with an important family relationship or a home-based business operation. Our second eclipse of eclipse season, because there's always two in an eclipse season, is a lunar eclipse full moon in Virgo, which is taking place on March 3rd. In your 11th house of friendships, support system, and community. Now, lunar eclipse full moons are all about endings, graduations, and turnovers. And it looks like a lot of big turnovers might be going on in your social life. With a lunar eclipse full moon in Virgo, for you Scorpio people, there could be a bit of a culling going on that you are doing yourself as it relates to certain social activities, social associations, friendships, and acquaintanceships. And between March and June, there may even be some situations where some social connections that are already on thin ice or that are maybe already proving to be just a little bit toxic are having their time to go. Quarter 2 really gets underway on the 26th of April with Uranus leaving Taurus and entering Gemini. So over the course of the last 7 years, Uranus has been in your 7th house of partnerships, closest one-on-one connections, the boyfriend, girlfriend, BFF, business partner, husband, wife, roommate, all the people you have your most involved one-on-one connections with. And with Uranus there, a lot of instability and a lot of unpredictability might have actually been creating a lot of activity, maybe a lot of stimulating activity, a lot of loving activity, but not a lot of follow-through with big goals, big dreams, and big aspirations. Luckily, with Uranus moving on, we're starting to see some kind of new golden era coming to your alliances, your love life, and again, any important partnerships that you have. But Uranus going into Gemini, your 8th house of shared resources, passive income, and bonus capital, is likely going to be creating a bit of a whirlwind experience. So you need to be smart, because when Uranus goes into our 8th house, things tend to move very quickly. Bonus capital and, extra monies outside of our predictable salary or hourly income are running high. You might notice partner earnings are also profiting and rising up, and you yourself are making some really cool scores. However, with Uranus in the 8th house, money can leave just as fast as it comes in, and from the 26th on, you're going to have to learn how to keep more than you spend, so you can keep what you acquire with all this bonus capital without having it impulsively disappear. And finally, we have on the 30th of June, wrapping up quarter 2, Jupiter entering Leo, your 10th house of career, upward mobility, status, promotions, and raises. And with Jupiter entering Leo, this is a time where you Scorpio people, especially at the end of June, but for the rest of 2026, are also becoming powerhouses in your industries, your markets, and your businesses. You are becoming the household name. You are getting a chance to become the leader or the boss, literally or figuratively, with a lot of career and financial initiatives in your life. And you might also find that these big wins are not only things you can take home with yourself, but may also give you the power and authority to change the way certain trends, certain norms, or certain status quos have existed in your job, your career path, or your field. So that is what I've got for part 1 of 2026. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you know when part 2 and the rest of my videos come out. And if you ever want to get a personal reading with me, remember my name is Nico, Scarlet Moon, son of Selene, and my website is integrativemysticism.com.